Welcome to the first video in a new ongoing series dealing with the issues around the opioid epidemic. Opioids killed more than 33,000 people in the United States in 2015 alone, and 2016 is shaping up to be even worse. Chances are that almost everyone knows someone affected by opioids. This is now the largest epidemic in American history. It dwarfs the heroin epidemic of the 1970s and the crack cocaine epidemic of the 1980s and 1990s. It used to be that an auto accident was the most likely reason a high school student would have to deal with the loss of a friend. Now the most likely cause is from opioid overdose. Let's start with a brief overview of opioids and the opioid epidemic. You may have heard people use both the words opiate and opioid interchangeably. Opiates are all the naturally occurring alkaloids found in the opium poppy, such as morphine, codeine, and thebaine. Opioid is the newer term used to describe all naturally occurring opiates, as well as man-made alkaloids like oxycodone, fentanyl, and heroin. Only Papaver somniferum poppies contain these alkaloids. The opioid epidemic, or opioid crisis as it's also known, is the name given to the rapid increase in opioid use and overdoses in the United States. In 1999, there were 4,000 overdose deaths from opioids. By 2015, there were over 33,000 overdose deaths from opioids. This is a 725% increase in deaths. In comparison, 1999 saw about 42,000 deaths from motor vehicle accidents. By 2015, that number had dropped to about 35,000. That's a 16% drop over the same time period. This series will cover why the opioid epidemic has become the worst epidemic in American history. We'll look at what series of factors are causing more people to become addicted to opioids and overdose from them. Is it really because of doctors overprescribing opioids? Or are there possibly other causes? Starting in 2010, the government started pressuring doctors to restrict prescriptions of opioids to pain patients to try and stop the increase in overdoses. This, like so many other things the government does, resulted in the exact opposite, as overdose rates skyrocketed. When the supply of accurately measured, pure pharmaceutical drugs started drying up, both legitimate pain patients and recreational addicts started getting their opioids from the street. Street drugs are not pure or accurately measured, and they're often cut with cheaper fentanyl, which is 50 to 100 times stronger than heroin. If these fentanyl pills are not mixed properly, there can be hot spots in them, where the fentanyl concentrates into much higher levels than expected. If someone buys one of these hot pills, thinking it contains 5 milligrams of oxycodone, but instead it contains 0.25 milligrams, or 1/4 of a milligram, of fentanyl, they'll likely overdose. Things weren't great when people were diverting pharmaceutical drugs from a doctor, but at least they were getting the drug they thought they were buying in the dose they intended to take. In those days, overdoses were caused by miscalculation, not from a more potent drug being misrepresented as heroin. We'll also cover how cheap synthetic opioids like fentanyl are made in China, and then shipped right to the drug dealer's house by the U.S. Postal Service. In addition to the onslaught from China, cheap black tar heroin is entering the country from Mexican drug cartels. These are just some of the reasons why the problem that we used to have with opioids has become a crisis. We're going to dig into what we're currently doing to try and stop the increase in opioid deaths, and why they're not working. This will include things like the war on drugs, imprisoning addicts, eradication programs in other countries, restricting medication to pain patients, and the way that we miseducate school children on drugs. This series will show that many of the same failed policies from today have already been failed policies in the past. Why would the same failed policies from the opium wars work today? Like the saying goes, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. In addition to understanding how we got here, and why our current policies don't work, we'll dive into what could be done to address the problem, if we look at it with fresh eyes. There are available options that many people won't even consider because of a lifetime of misinformation. Many of the drug abuse education programs, and most religions today, only teach a program of abstinence. Many people don't want those addicted to opioids to have access to substitution programs like methadone and Suboxone, even with the overwhelming evidence that it helps. Opioid substitution programs are denied to prisoners, even when they are prescribed by a doctor, in violation of their 8th Amendment protection from cruel and unusual punishment. What could be more cruel than denying medication to patients? Even though 68% of those who enter prison suffer from drug addiction, only 11% get any treatment while incarcerated. Half of all people in prison are there for drug offenses. We waste an opportunity to treat them when they're in prison, and when they get out, they go right back to using, stealing, getting arrested, and starting the cycle all over again. If we implement opioid substitution programs in all prison systems, we would dramatically improve the current situation. It is the hope that through learning, people will become more open to new ideas and strategies to help deal with the opioid crisis. With proper policies that add treatment to the equation, we can help stop most of the unnecessary opioid deaths. The next video in this series will cover how opioid addiction is made worse by sending those addicted to prison. We can't treat addiction with incarceration. More people come out of prison as an addict than went in as one. In the end, we can either demonize or help those addicted to opioids, not both. If you found the content helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. If you like what you're seeing and you want to see more, please support this channel by selecting the subscribe button. If you know someone suffering from addiction, please share this video with them to help. If you haven't watched my videos, How Does Addiction Work? Or How to Stop Using Opioids Successfully, you can select them here.